realized the internet was so bad because I forgot to switch over to my super duper 4G connection. So anyway, I just want to do a quick broadcast to cover an ingredients Friday past, and it's something called pandan leaves. I know quite a few people often ask me at my market stall in my restaurant in the past what pandan leaves is, because I use it in a number of my dishes and it's mentioned on my menu. So there's just a quick primer on how we use it, what it is, and all that sort of stuff. Okay, now quickly, this is what pandan leaves look like. This is a potted version, but usually you'll find them grow quite abundantly all over, certainly in the parts of Southeast Asia that I've been to. Okay, very abundantly in Malaysia, especially in the rural villages called kampungs. Okay, what you're more likely would kind of like scrunch it up to bruise it a bit and tie it in a knot. I'm just going to try and pull out a picture for you in here so they get a bit crowded. So let me see if I can find it. No, okay, hard to scroll. Okay, never mind. So if you can imagine these pandan leaves kind of like just tied up in a knot, and then you throw it into your pot of rice that you're cooking like this over here, right? And then at the end of it, and we add other things to it as well. You add a little bit of salt, and I add coconut milk to it, and that gives me what you would call nasi lemak, which is a coconut rice with a nice infusion of pandan flavors. If you don't have pandan leaves, you can leave it out, so it's not the end of the world, but it does add an extra layer of aroma to your dish, right? Now with nasi lemak, the pandan leaves used in that sense does not actually discolor, does not actually change the color of your rice substantially, right? It will still be white, albeit with maybe a little tinge of a greenness to it, but fundamentally it will still be a white rice. Now, if you look up pandan rice online, this is something you might find rice that's colored green. And now, I hate to generalize because I haven't been to every town in Malaysia, but growing up in Malaysia, we don't generally see, certainly where I grew up, we don't actually see green colored rice served with your savory meal. That's not common, and you know, but if you this apparently is from Vietnam, so you may be able to see it in Vietnamese recipes as well. But for you to achieve that green hue in your rice, you would actually be extracting the juice from the pandan leaves and then permeating the rice with it, right? If you were just tying it in a knot like how I just described it, your rice will still be white. There's just a point of difference I thought I might point out. Now, in terms of extracting the pandan juice, this is an example of it. So what I would suggest, if you've got a Thermocook or a blender or whatever, just cut up your pandan leaves into, say, 2-inch lengths, throw it in with a bit of water, and then whiz it, and then strain it out through a sieve, right? And this is what you would get, pandan extract. If you can't get pandan leaves and you need pandan extract, you can in fact buy it at the store, hopefully. Again, this is your pandan extract, pandan leaf extract in a can. And again, they're quite cheap, but they're very, very diluted. So, and they do settle as well. So you're just gonna give it a good shake before you use it. And it will just give a nice green hue to your whatever it is you're cooking. Now, if you can't find that, this is more common. This is, again, pandan, it's more a pandan concentrate, right? And this is actually quite thick and treacly. It's got starch in it to thicken it, and it's extremely, extremely concentrated. So you would literally be using like a drop or two in whatever it is you're making. Otherwise, you could end up with a dish that looks like nuclear waste. Okay, so just be very, very careful with these. And usually you'll find these on the shelves at Asian grocery stores, sometimes even at the counter, at the checkout counter, right? So that's that. Now, in terms of the kinds of dishes we would use, pandan leaves in, I've mentioned the savories, the rice, and the chicken curry. A lot of Asian desserts use pandan leaves in them, and I'll just give you a couple of examples. There's something called kueh dadar. I make it quite often, or ketayap, or usually these kinds of dishes come with a few different names. In Indonesia, they call it something else, I'm sure. But essentially, these are crepes that have a pandan coloring or pandan extract in them, and they're fried up, and then they're rolled with, they're filled with these desiccated coconut or fresh coconut for that matter that's been cooked with palm sugar. That's hence the brown color, right? Another example is srimuka. This again is sticky rice on the bottom and pandan custard at the top, and it's steamed and then cut into squares or diamonds or whatever. So these are a couple of examples of Southeast Asian sweets and snacks that use pandan leaves, and this is probably the most famous example. This is what we call chendol, and you see those green worms there or green jelly strips there, and that's actually shaved ice over there with, again, palm sugar. So palm sugar and pandan go very work very close together in a lot of Asian desserts. So these are kind of the kind of ingredients you might want to consider stocking up your pantry with. So that shaved ice with palm sugar syrup over it, and coconut milk, and of course coconut milk is another ingredient that you probably should stock up in your pantry if you're serious about cooking Southeast Asian dishes. And those green worms, I make them myself as well, and they're made with a mixture of tapioca flour and mung bean flour, and again, they're colored with pandan leaves, pandan extract. So there you go. There's some examples of pandan and how it's used. Again, just as a reminder, pandan leaves, that's what they look like. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's one other picture I wanted to show you. But most Australians associate pandan leaves, or certainly your point of reference with pandan leaves that you would be familiar with is in something called pandan chicken. Or pandanus chicken, because in Thai restaurant menus, pandan is usually referred to as pandanus, which is a more scientific name for it, but it's the same thing. So usually you'll find these chicken that have been marinated with some soy flavorings, garlic, and that sort of stuff. They're chicken thigh fillets cut into cubes, and they're wrapped up into triangles using these pandan leaves, and then they're deep fried. Okay, so and that's a very popular Thai starter, Thai entree, certainly here in Australia anyway. So there you go. I hope this has been helpful. So this that's what I use pandan for, and what a lot of Malaysians and Southeast Asians use pandan for. And don't forget, my next broadcast, or certainly my next full show, will be on this Friday, and it is going to be on Otak. And I hope to see you there. Look for the details at my Facebook page, probably your best bet, which is Jackie M. Facebook page is facebook.com/Jackie M Food. Okay, and I look forward to your company, and I will see you then. Thank you, guys.